number of ways to predict the future, predictive analytics. Usually the better prediction we have, the better planning we can do, and we can move forward. This particular lab asks us to predict product demand. Specifically, it asked what were the drivers of monthly demand for hiking boots from 2021 to 2024. It's actually kind of backward looking. It's saying what can we learn from the past that might help us predict the future. And so if we don't have, we call it diagnostic to kind of put weights on different things. And if we can really carefully learn from the past, then we can move forward into the future. So let's go ahead and get started on this lab. We're going to do that by opening a data set here. And it should be data set here. And let's go ahead and open that and hit enter. And what you'll see is it has months, product demand, and then some various explanatory variables, including GDP and weather. So these are hiking boots, so we're trying to think about what would be the predictors of those hiking boots. I always like to check the data and make sure everything is in there. I could use descriptive statistics and summarize it, or usually I like just seeing if the data, if ChatGPT actually recognizes the last 5 lines of data. So it's able to do that. So I looked at these last 5 lines and it looks like it is correct. It's gone through the end of 2024, so I'm in good shape. Now I have my own hypothesis, and my hypothesis is that hiking boots will sell more at the holiday season and in the spring. But for now we're just going to say, how about the holiday season? So I'm going to just do a little indicator and say, hey, let's make a variable. Dummy variable means it either carries the value of 1, in this case during month of November, December, or 0, and see if that might be a predictor. And so I'm asking it to create one based on the month, and since it recognizes what month is what, it's able to do that for me. Once I have completed that, and let's go check that here. So I'll just kind of look through here and let's see, here's a November and December, and yes, in fact, it has a 1, and the other ones around it have a 0, and then until the next November and December, as you can see there. Okay, so that looks like it did that, and next what I wanted to do is perform a regression analysis. Now the only trick to this is you got to be really careful with your wording, right? So we want to perform a regression of monthly product demand, that's the dependent variable, and we want it to be on the various independent variables, which now we say are GDP, that's kind of how the economy's doing. The weather, so that's another way of kind of getting at summer, like I actually went hiking yesterday because the weather's good. Or a holiday, and meaning that's when gift giving might occur. And so we have to carefully specify that, because if it doesn't automatically know what you want it to be, the dependent variable, and what you want the independent variables to be. So kind of this regression of on, that's kind of the correct setup. And so you can see the model explains much of the variance. It seems to be a pretty good model. The model is significant, and we see various coefficients on each of these, and we could ask, this is kind of the simple results, we could ask for a stronger set of regression analyses that would provide that. But the interpretation suggests that GDP, every unit increase in GDP is associated with 1.9. Hey, weather, as maybe we would have predicted, is also a significant predictor. And when there's warmer weather, which we probably expected, and holidays as well. And so we can kind of see that. There are some other tests performed that might be for a more advanced course on regression analysis. But for now, we're just trying to see if it will run, and in fact it does. And now what we're going to do is just say, hey, there is actual and there is predicted, right? So actual is what was actual demand, and predicted is based on this regression and the various levels of GDP, weather, and whether it's holiday or not a holiday, it's going to come up with an expectation. And the question is, did we do a very good job? It says it explains what, 66% of the variance. And so let's see what that might look like in a scatter plot, where we have actual on one axis and expected on the other axis, and we just try to see does it line up very well. Now it's kind of a tautology, meaning we used one to predict the other, but so it should work reasonably well. So we can see the actual is the x's along the y-axis, and the expected is here. So it's not perfect, but you can kind of see the trend line. That's the line of best fit between both of them. So it kind of helps us see kind of where it looks. Now we can do all sorts of regression results and go much further. It's very good at that. But for now, I just wanted to show its capability. And so I could output the regression results. I could also use this and go to this here and just go ahead and download the chart, or I can write, hey, please output the scatter plot with the trend line directly, or I could just ask it to do it that way. And then finally, usually I like to ask, hey, will you please display the prompts? Because I like to see those. Oftentimes I like to save them because it's kind of like my instructions and I want to know what I instructed it to do. So this completes this lab.